today is we're going to Isometric Strength Seminar. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk, you're actually going to do an isometric strength workout while you do it. We're going to be probably 30 minutes is all it's going to take today. So we're going to do 4 sets of strength exercises with a finish. And just like any strength workout, you're going to have rest periods. So during that rest period, I'm going to talk. I'm going to teach you a little bit more about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And if you have any questions in those rest periods, you're welcome to ask, or at the end, I'll have a Q&A. So first of all, a lot of people, you might still be shaking your head going, what are isometric exercises? Isometric exercises are ways for you to get force development in your muscles without moving through the range of the joint. So first, I just want to have everybody start off, just interlock your fingers. Pull it against your chest, and I want you to pull as hard as you can. If you're trying to break your fingertips, and just hold it for about 5 seconds. And now turn the other way. The same thing, really, really hard. And back with that again. Really hard. And one more the other way. All right. Congratulations, you've just done an isometric exercise. We'll also talk about using different tools. Isometric exercises, you don't need any equipment, but if you have some equipment, like a band or a piece of PVC or light dumbbells or a bar, pull-up bar, there are ways to enhance the exercises, but you don't need to. And to learn what I would call basic isometrics is what we're going to do today. You don't need anything. What you need to do is learn how to do the movements first, and you'll get better as you go. Everybody has done a plank hold, and you've done an isometric exercise. If you've done yoga, a lot of those are isometric holds. You're contracting your muscles, but most of that is for stability. And what I'm teaching you today is for strength. It's the same idea, but more force. We're talking about an arm workout today, and we're talking about flexing or extending our elbow. Okay? So flexing is closing, extending is open. Pretty basic, right? So we're flexion, like a bicep curl, and extending, like you're doing a push-up, or if you're shoving somebody away, or you're pushing a car. So those are the 2 ranges those are the 2 movements that we're going to be working with. When you go to flex your joint, you contract muscles. Or I'm going to use the word fire. So when they work, you're contracting them to close the joint, or you're contracting other muscles to extend the joint. Got it? So contracting or relaxing. And I'm going to use the word firing because what I want you to be doing is working as hard as you can. So I want you to be thinking about firing your muscles. So there are a couple of different kind of contractions. Isotonic contractions are what you do in typical exercises. You are contracting a muscle through the range of the joint. The muscles contract, they shorten, or they lengthen depending on what you're doing. They'll lengthen as you're lowering something, they'll shorten as you're closing something, lifting something. Isokinetic contractions are similar, but they're mainly used for rehab. If you ever hear that term, isokinetic is done with machines, and it's still, you're moving through the range of a joint, but it's protecting that joint by keeping the force exactly the same as one level. Isometrics are, you're firing those muscles, you're contracting the muscles, but you're not moving through the range of the joint. In the textbook term, I like to say, they say, isometric is when muscle tension is insufficient to overcome the resistance. So think about it. You were pulling apart. Your muscles were firing, but they weren't. The joint wasn't moving because there wasn't enough force to overcome the resistance. But what's important, I think, is that it doesn't mean that it's insufficient to build strength or muscle size. That's the key. So, you ready? All right, first one, now we're going to do it. I'm going to show you what you're going to do, and then you're going to do it. We're going to talk about flexing your elbow. Think about bicep curl. And you're going to take your other hand. I want you to cup your hands like this, palm to palm. And I'd like you to hold it right in front of your body. And I'll tell you why in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about curling or flexing my elbow with this hand or arm, I'm going to resist it. And I'm also going to think about extending or pressing out. So I'm resisting the curl or the flexion with extension here. So just do that for a second, real tight. Now a couple things. I could do this hunched over, rounded back, and I'm going to get a good workout with my arms, but I'm reinforcing a bad position. So everything you do, I want you to sit tall, square shoulders. That's why you can do it off to the sides, you can do it over here, but I want you to get in a habit from the beginning. Hands directly in front of your chest, shoulders back, and this will come into play when you get into intermediate exercises we'll talk about a little bit later. So let's just sit tall, hold it right in the center, and I want you, if you pulled your hand away, you'd be punching yourself in the face. That's the kind of pressure I want. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to count. We're going to do a static hold for 5 seconds, and then we're going to switch. We're going to go 5 seconds here, 5 seconds here, 5 seconds here, 5 seconds here, and count you through. And now, just ready, and go. And as much pressure as you can. Switch. Trying to pull that one hand towards your face and press it down as hard as you can. Switch. Again. Switch. Switch. One more set. Really hard. Pull and push. And one more. Switch. And rest. First set. This compared to weight training. If you can lift heavy barbells, you're going to get stronger. There's no question about that. But there are a lot of people that don't want to lift heavy barbells. Or they can't because they have injuries. So this is not a replacement of that, but if you can't do it, it's a great alternative. And you can also use these to enhance your existing weight training. So let's say you have some exercise that you do, you can do isometrics to add to it. It's not one or the other, it can be both. And you can use it on virtually every muscle in your body. It's just a little bit tricky to hit certain things. If I had you try to hit your hamstrings or glutes, just learning it, it's really difficult. I need you to understand how to make maximal contraction. Your arms are easy to learn. Once you start getting into the muscles in your body, I can start teaching you different things. So we're going to do the same thing again, but instead of this 5-second hold, we're going to do what's called pulsing isometrics. And this is what I do. Almost all my isometric workouts are this. And so I just want you to watch first. Instead of that 5-second hold, I want you to do pulsing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to fire those muscles quickly. And then every 5th rep, and I'll count it out, every 5th rep we're going to pause for just 2 or 3 seconds. And we're going to alternate the same as you did with the holds. And this time, and I think it's easy to learn, you really start to get more muscles firing when you do that. And towards the end of the set, you might be feeling it more because you're just learning to get more activity, more activation of those muscles. So ready? We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold really tight. You should be shaking. All right, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. I've been doing ISOs for the better part of the year. Probably started in February. I've had 3 major surgeries in the last 13 months. I had a left hip replacement last September. I had this shoulder replaced in December. And then this hip just 5 weeks ago tomorrow. So in all the pain and all the issues I had leading up to those surgeries, I had lost a lot of muscle tone. I've never been a very big guy, but what muscle tone I had, I lost. Okay. if anything, in this arm, anything you see is all come back from since February from isometrics. I lost pretty much all muscle tone because of inactivity. The drawbacks are if you read ISOs, and there are people that say that they're not very effective because they're meatheads and they just want to go heavy barbells along, is they're limited to, if what we're doing here is I'm getting stronger in that one range, but I'm not strong to the entire range. All right, that's correct. So what do? You train in multiple ranges. When I train not completely extended, but just partly flexed, and about here, and about 90, and about here, and about here. So I'm training in 5 or 6 different ranges.
So you're doing this? Like
so what we just did, and Julie didn't get as much as Julie or Julie. As you're on the lower box, but notice here, I was a little bit different angle. So I would say now I'm working the same muscles, but instead of at 90, I was here. So this is an example of how you need to mix that up. And in the beginning stages, you can do this every day, but once you get longer routines and you really learn to develop maximal force in those contractions, you want to treat it like a regular strength workout. Give yourself a rest day.
all this kind of stuff in the lines.
And they do it in yoga, but do you do it with that much force? That's the question.
It's more of a slow and controlled.
Yes, so it's good. Yep. Yeah, like I was talking to my orthopedic surgeon in one of my visits, and he's like, "So what have you been doing?" And I told him about the isometric stuff. And he's been a powerlifter all his life, so and he's a doctor, so of course he knows what that means. But he's like, "Oh, like yoga," and I'm like, "Yeah." And I didn't say like, "Yes," but yoga is more for stability,
Right.
and they're getting strong, but they're not trying to.
They're not firing.
It's not force. Yeah, this is trying to get maximal force, and that's where you can really kick off the growth. You don't see yoga people that are all hulked up, but they're strong and they're strong. The great thing with yoga and a lot of PT stuff is you can strengthen a weak range. So let's say I'm weak out here holding something up. By doing isometric holds or light weight, I can build some strength to even it out. But those muscles aren't going to really get bigger. But if you do the same movements and you really try to crank those muscles and fire as hard as you can, you'll spur that.